Hi Libra, welcome to your 21st through the 31st? 21st to the 31st? Whatever. The end of December, okay? Let's go ahead and see what's happening. So we already know your focus is Mercury. So you've been doing, like, throughout this month, go check out the other time dates if you want to do that. But throughout this month, you've really just been having, like, conversations with other people, but also conversations with yourself, okay? So let's see how your December ends. Let's see how your year ends and see where all this is going for Libra. Nothing bad, though, okay? You've had a pretty decent December at this point. All right, so we're starting off with the Seven of Swords in reverse. I feel like whatever things have been kept a secret or whatever thoughts that you've been keeping to yourself, they're about to come out. I'm really excited because usually with the Seven of Swords, I get like a not so good feeling. But I actually feel like this is a good thing. I feel like you're going to start telling your thoughts to someone and kind of making them more of a reality for you. Yo, my hair is tripping me the fuck out right now. Don't mind my hair. Or my mane, rather. Shout out to the Leo suns and Leo ascendants, okay? All right, so Two of Pentacles is here. So I feel like you're getting closer to where you're at that point where you're like, okay, I'm gonna try to, see if I can do this. I'm gonna see if I can go and make that, whatever that thing is that you've been thinking about, you're gonna try to make it happen. But now you're like, okay, if I'm gonna make this happen, I gotta be realistic about this and practical about this. I gotta prioritize everything that I'm over here that's making me doubt that this can happen in the first place. I gotta prioritize it and see how I can make this work. So that's what your mindset is during this time. So you're sorting out everything, you're organizing everything. I feel like you're really, being safe about whatever you're doing. You're really organizing and making sure everything's in place so that if you make this leap, you have a safety net to catch you, okay? Now we have the Nine of Cups in reverse. Now, whatever you're doing, I definitely feel like you're very, very uncomfortable with it. And I think that's what's so beautiful about this, because this is an uncomfortable feeling where it's like, yes, it's different. And you being a cardinal sign, I definitely believe you should be pushing for new things and pushing for changes, even if it feels uncomfortable. But what I really feel about this, it's like this nervousness that feels like good and scary at the same time. Like kind of like if you're going on a roller coaster, if you're into that, like that feeling where you're like, oh my gosh, it's about to happen. It's about to happen. It feels uncomfortable, but I think that this is like the first step to something way bigger and something way more beautiful that you will actually be super comfortable with if it actually goes all the way through. And then we have the Two of Swords. So you remember how I was talking about that roller coaster? This card to me is like the moment where you're on the roller coaster, not in the line, but you're on the roller coaster and you're buckled in and it's like there's no turning back now. And so now you're just stuck with your thoughts and your feelings and you're like, oh shit, this is really about to go down. So that's what I'm seeing. Like, I feel like you're actually going to take that leap and like there's no turning back now. Let's go ahead and get some clarification on this. So the Knight of Swords, I definitely feel like you're going and telling everyone like, hey, I'm about to go make this happen. You might not be actually telling them what you're about to do, but I feel like if you have a job and you had to quit to make this happen, you're telling, you're giving your notice and all that stuff. Or if you have friends that know kind of what you want to do, they're like, you're telling them to kind of give them a heads up if you're going to be gone for a while, or if they're going to be a part of the situation, you're like, hey, if you're really going to do this with me and you support me in this, let's do this. And you're doing that. You're going to a lot of different people and letting them know. So you could be telling your family or your friends or your job, whatever the case is. You're going and really setting the tone for either support or just so everybody knows, what's going on with you, because you're making a new step. So you're kind of like just putting everything into perspective for everybody else as well. Why are you uncomfortable? What's this uncomfortable issue of? Okay, we got 3 cards. So you have a lot of feelings about this. So you're uncomfortable because you're like, is this going to affect my money? Will I make money doing this? Will I be stable? You're worried about stability, which is normal. I think this is like a new lifestyle for you, or like this is a lifestyle change. So it makes sense that you would be thinking about that, All right, then you have the Hangman. You're like, this doesn't really make sense. This isn't what everybody else does. Do I have enough faith? Do I have enough belief to make this happen? You also could be having cahoots with some sort of Pisces. And you're thinking about like, how are they going to take it? Are they going to stay with me through this? If you're with the Pisces or whatever the case is, you're like, am I completely nuts for doing this? Like stepping out on faith and going with what I want to do. Is this completely crazy? Like, am I crazy for doing this? That's what I feel like you're asking yourself. And then lastly, the Ten of Pentacles. So you could, again, with the stability issue, I feel like you're very worried about, like, is this going to make sense? Is this going to be lucrative with money? But also, like, if you have to leave your family or whatever your family situation is, it could be you have kids, maybe you don't, maybe you're married, maybe you're not. You're like, is this going to affect me having a family, building a family? Whatever the case is, maybe you have to leave them behind for a little while. I don't know what it is, but you're very, very focused on this stability thing, and if it makes sense to actually do this, and it's making you like, this is what's been stopping you the whole time, but now that you're doing it, you're like, yo, it's now or never. Like, I gotta make this happen. And this Two of Swords, so that feeling when the ride is about to go off, like, what's the deeper meaning with this? Ten of Wands. You're afraid of the struggles. You're like, there's so many things that could go wrong with this, but I'm already doing it. Like, I kind of feel like everything that you thought could happen wrong, you've kind of already set the plan on what you would do if something went wrong. So I feel like you're safe in that aspect, but it still is scary to go through with something, you know? So this is crazy, Libra. Whatever you're about to do, I definitely feel like this is something new. You're doing it very quick. I feel like you're being very responsible, though. I feel like you're really setting up everything so that if anything happens wrong, you kind of have some sort of safety net or some plan of action. All right, so who's involved with this with you? Who's going to be involved in the end of your December? With Libra. Oh, okay, I saw it. They're going to be in the background, but I definitely see a Scorpio here with you. For some reason, I also feel like this could be like your mom's or somebody like a female support. Somebody who makes you feel comfortable, somebody who gives you advice, somebody who's like, look, this is okay for you to do. Like, you can trust yourself. Like, trust yourself to guide you through this. They give you really good advice. I also feel like with this Hangman energy, you know how you were like afraid if you're making a wrong decision because you're doing something that nobody does and you're like stepping out on faith. Whoever this person is, they're like reinforcing that energy of you can do this. Like, you have to believe in yourself. Kind of like that stuff that you hear when you're little, and it makes sense when you're little, but when you get older, you're like, that's a whole bunch of bullshit. Like, what do you mean believe in myself? This person is coming to like reinforce that energy. So you have like that childlike strength. You know how children, they're just so resilient, and whatever they want to do, they really go out there and do it. They're giving you that oomph because for some reason you've gotten so logical that you feel like there's no way to do things outside of somebody else telling you to do it. Or somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're so like logical and robotic right now. This person is like, what are you talking about? Like, the fact that you even had this thought, like, you mean to tell me you can't make it work and you're this creative? Like, do it. Like, just try it already. They're kind of making you like just jump out there. They're pushing you into the pool and saying swim. So let's see how you're looking versus how they're looking. You're actually doing this, Libra. Like, you're actually doing this. And I feel like you keep telling yourself, like, I'm actually doing this. You could be moving or something like that, too. Like, moving somewhere where you always wanted to go or whatever. You're definitely out of your comfort zone, though. Okay, so victory. Great, Libra. So you're actually really, really doing well. I think people are looking at you and cheering you on. I feel like everybody sees that you're making something happen that most people probably would be afraid to do. And people are really, really supportive of you doing this. So this is really good, Libra. I really think this is a good step. And I think it's a perfect way to start off your 2021, honestly. So, yeah, it looks like everything is lining up. And it's like, it's just experience, especially during, well, at this point it will be Capricorn season, but it's like you're starting something new, and Capricorn is also a cardinal sign just like you. So it's like you're really, really doing something new, fresh, different. You're setting the trend for your own life. So that's really admirable. Let's see how this other person is showing up. This other person is showing up as defeats. Okay, so I do feel like they're a little like sad that you're leaving. But I also feel like they know that this is something that has to happen. Like I said, I felt like it was somebody who is a family member, and they probably just don't want to see you leave, but they also know like this is great. This is going to be really good for Libra. So there's no way that I would put my pride in front of their success type of thing. And they're really just like, you know what? I believe in you. Go out there and do this. And I almost feel like this is the person that you needed to hear it from, because it's probably the person that's always like, no, stay here. Like, there's so many things that could happen, go wrong. But now they're like, you can do this. I believe in you. You're the perfect person for this job. Go do it. All right. So let's go ahead and look at what your oracle message is for this month. What did we learn? Disruption. This is perfect. Now, usually this is a really bad card. But in this situation, this whole, month, the middle and end of the month, it was about you getting comfortable with the idea, getting uncomfortable with the idea of actually doing something different that you've been wanting to do for a long time. I feel like this definitely happened out of the blue. And you really have to just allow yourself to just like let go and do it. And the best way I can put this is it disrupted your life because it disrupted the routine of your life. But now I think you're going to see like in January and just going past that, like this is what you needed to do to actually start a new chapter in your life and really start to live your life too. I feel like this is going to be huge for you actually stepping into your own power. So congratulations, Libra. Let me know how everything is going. Let me know what you're doing because you're clearly doing something major in your life. Let everybody else know in the comments and all of your Libra sister and brethren and all that stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, Libra.